Good morning, students. Welcome to class 11th biology, unit 4th, chapter transport in plants. Previous period we have read about the transpirations. Now the factor affecting transpirations. Both external and internal factors affect the rate of transpirations. External factors are the humidity or moisture present in the air. If the plant is surrounded by a vapor saturated atmosphere, the rate of transpirations will be lower. On the other hand, if the atmosphere is less humid, transpiration goes on at a rapid rate. Temperature, it has direct effect on transpirations. Rise in temperature reduce the relative humidity of the atmosphere and increase the rate of transpiration. Wind has a direct influence on humidity. Dry air lower the amount of air moisture and increase the rate of transpiration, whereas humid air decrease the rate of transpirations. Light, rate of transpiration increase in light and decrease in the dark. Light affect transpiration in two ways. Firstly, it increase transpiration by raising the temperature of leaves, and secondly, there is a close relationship between the opening and closing of stomata and light, as the stomata open at daytime. Available soil water. If available soil water is such that the rate of absorption of water is slowed down, the rate of transpiration also decrease. Higher concentration of salt in the soil reduce the absorption rate of the water, thereby rate of transpiration also. Atmospheric pressures. At lower atmospheric pressures, at the altitude, rate of transpiration is increased, but the decrease in rate occurs due to prevailing low temperature at these heights. Internal factors. The histological and internal physiological conditions influence the rate of transpiration to a great extent, like the presence of thick cuticle and deposition of wax on epidermis decrease the rate of transpiration. Presence of hair on the outer surface of stomata also reduce the rate of transpiration. Rate of transpiration depends upon size, position and distribution of the leaves. Rate of transpiration is directly proportional to the water content of mesophyll tissue. A small size and folded leaves reduce the rate of transpiration. Reduction in the content of mesophyll tissue affect the transpiration process adversely. Experiments related to transpiration. Experiment to determine the rate of transpiration by ganometer. It is practical work which you will do in your laboratory. Antitranspirants. Excessive loss of water through transpiration causes wilting in plants. It leads to reduction in crop production up to 50%. It is difficult to raise crop in unirrigated and dry land due to high rate of transpirations. There are certain chemical substances which reduce the transpiration rate without affecting metabolic activities in plants. These may be applied for improving the production of crop in dry land area. Application of such chemicals have made it possible to raise crop in unirrigated and dry lands. These chemicals are called antitranspirants. There are two types of antitranspirants. Metabolic inhibitors. Such chemicals inhibit the opening of stomata. It later open partially and therefore loss of water through transpiration is reduced. For example, phenyl mercuric acetate PMA, abscisic acid ABA. Film forming chemicals, these are chemicals which form a thin film on plant surface. When sprayed, the film check the movement of water vapors through plant surface, but the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen for respiration and photosynthesis take place as usual. For example, colorless plastic, resin, bags, or low viscosity silicone emulsions, etc. Other phenomena of plant water relation are the wilting, drooping down of younger leaves और पत्तियों का मुरझाना. Plant require large amount of water for their growth and normal life. When transpiration is very active and the rate of absorption fail to keep pace with the loss of water, a kind of water deficit take place in the plants, a condition called wilting. It results in the drooping of angistamen leaves. The cells lose their turgidity and the rate of photosynthesis is also lower down. Wilting can be caused by many conditions in which water loss exceeds water intake. Hot dry wind condition causes many plants to lose water by transpiration faster than their root can absorb it from the soil. Bleeding, from the injured or cutted part of plant, a watery sap is secreted. This phenomenon is called bleeding. Guttation, in several plants such as Nasturtium, tomato, colocasia, the root pressure is manifested as guttation, which is exudation of water in the form of droplet from the margin and tip of leaves, or coming out of water in the form of water drops from tip or margin of the leaves is called guttations. The exudation takes place through group of cells called hydatodes. In just below the epidermal region, there is a cavity known as air space or epithelium cavity. Just below this cavity, loosely arranged parenchymatous cells are present, known as hydatodes. The exudation of water takes place through group of leaf cells called hydatodes, which are present at tip or margin of the leaves. The watery drop consists of water in which many organic and inorganic substances are dissolved. After the drop have dried, salt and organic substance etc. remain in the form of residues on the margin of the leaves. The phenomenon of guttation is associated with the presence of a special pore at the margin of the leaves, which are called water stomata or hydatodes. Each hydrosphere consists of water pore which remain permanently open. Below this lies a small cavity followed by loose tissue called as epitheme. Epitheme is in close association with the end of vascular element of vein, from which it collects water and slowly water comes out through hydrosols day and night both times, but at daytime it immediately evaporates, but in mostly in the winter night it is collected in the form of water droplets. Phloem transport of organic solutes or transport of food materials or translocation of photosynthetic product. Organic food is plants are produced by green part or leaves, but the food is required by all other part of plant body. Therefore, the food is transported in the form of solution to different part of plants. This process is known as translocation of organic solutes or organic nutrients. Direction of translocation. This translocation takes place in all directions: upward translocations, downward translocations, oblique translocations or lateral translocation. The upward translocation, it happens from seeds to young seedling at the time of seed germination. Due to lack of green leaves, young seedlings are unable to synthesize food. Therefore, upward translocation of organic food from seed is quite necessary till green leaves are formed. This type of translocation is found in tubers, rhizomes. Downward translocations from terminal leaf of the organic food produced through photosynthesis is translocated to roots through stem. Lateral translocation, it is found in internal plant of plants. For example, organic food is translocated from stellar portions to laterally placed tissue like cortex. Phloem is found in outer layer of the plants. From outer layers, an epidermal layer to cortex, endodermis, pericycle, vascular bundles, foods are transported in lateral directions. Pathway of translocation. Two main type of vascular tissue are found in plants which play a role in conduction of materials inside plant body. These are phloem, tube tubes and xylem vessels. These are physiologically different. Tube tubes are living while xylem vessels are dead. According to Curtis, translocation of organic food in plants takes place through phloem. It can be experimentally proved by different experiments like chemical analysis of phloem shape. When an incision is made on the stem of deciduous tree, a shape is exudated. It contains high concentration of sucrose. The shape of tube tube also has the same chemical property. Ringing or girdling experiments. This experiment is also used in vegetative reproduction of plants, booty formation. In these experiments, a potted plant is taken and its bark is removed just above the soil in ring shape structures. Phloem is situated in outer layer. Food materials prepared by green leaves are translocate downwardly, but due to disruption of phloem tissue, they accumulated here, and these portions get swollen up. If this portion gets suitable conditions like the soil, moisture, etc., roots come out from this portion. Due to accumulation of high amount of food materials, this portion gets swell up, and after a long period, as the roots don't get food materials, root get dried up. This experiment shows that the phloem tissue is responsible for conduction of organic solutes. Other experiments, analysis of sap sucked by aphids. Aphids suck sap from plant body through proboscis. Aphids are the small insects which suck food material from plant body. This sucked aphid also provide an evidence that the sap is absorbed from tube tubes, which is rich in organic nutrients. And the mechanism of phloem transport or mechanism of translocation of organic nutrients. Mechanism of phloem transport or mechanism of translocation of organic solutes was disputed from beginning. The actual mechanism of this process is still unknown. Many theories were proposed by many workers, but the most accepted theory is mass flow hypothesis, which was proposed by Munch in 1930. Due to continued photosynthesis, concentration of sugar increase in mesophyll cell of leaves, leading to increase in their osmotic pressure. It results into entry of water in these cells due to endoosmosis. In this way, turgor pressure of cells is increased. Some amount of cell solution is diffused to tube tubes of phloem. At the other end of plant body, that is root and other storage organ like tuber and rhizome, food materials are consumed regularly and converted into insoluble forms. It leads to decrease in osmotic pressure of cells. Turgor pressure of these cells is also decreased. In this way, a gradient of turgor pressure is created between the supply end or mesophyll cells and consumption end, root, tuber, rhizome, etc. In such a condition, sap containing organic nutrients move downward from phloem element of leaf to the consumption end due to mass flow. At the consumption end, organic food is consumed and water enters inside adjacent xylem vessels from where it is transported upwards. This process continues till the plant survives. Evidences in support of Munch hypothesis are Munch mass flow. Concentration gradient between supply and consumption in the disturbed when the plant is defoliated, means leaves are removed. It was supported by Croft 1961 and Esau 1966. They found that the exudate from phloem cells of the cut end of stem contain high concentration of sugars. There are some objections also of the Munch hypothesis. According to this hypothesis, the sieve tube of phloem always play a passive role. However, many workers have proposed that translocation of organic solutes through phloem is an active process in which ATP is used. Bidirectional translocation cannot be explained by this hypothesis. Not much differences in the osmotic pressure of root hairs and mesophyll cells has been observed, which may cause this type of mass flow in phloem. Uptake or translocation of mineral nutrients. Along with water, minerals are also absorbed through root systems. Plants require large number of minerals to carry on their healthy life. Besides water, they need considerable quantity of minerals, gases and various other substances in a state of solution in water. The most important of these are the minerals which are absorbed by the root from the soil solution. Minerals can move across the cell wall and plasma membrane of plant cells. This process is called absorption. The minerals are not absorbed as a whole molecule but as positively charged cations or negatively charged anions. Usually, mineral elements are found in soil in the form of solution. These enter inside root cells through plasma membrane, which is selectively permeable. Movement of metal ions across plasma membrane is known as flux or transport. Ions of various elements may be positively charged cations or negatively charged anions. Important cations present in soil are magnesium, iron, manganese, cobalt, zinc, potassium, copper and calcium, while anions are borate, silicate, sulfates, chloride, phosphates. Mechanism of mineral absorptions. Minerals are always absorbed in the form of solution. Biologists have proposed various theories to explain the mechanism of mineral salt absorptions on the basis of energy requirements. There are two theories: passive absorption and active absorptions. In passive process there is no consumption of metabolic energy, but in active process there is consumption of metabolic energy. Passive absorptions may be diffusion or facilitated diffusion, mass flow hypothesis, ionic exchange theory, carbonic acid exchange and contact exchange theory, and Donan equilibrium hypothesis. Active absorptions also take place, carrier concept and cytochrome pump hypothesis. First, passive absorption. In this method, movement of minerals into the cell or tissue take place without the expenditure of energy on the part of absorbing cells. This is a purely physical phenomena and take place in many ways, like diffusion or diffusion hypothesis. It can be observed by first placing a plant cell or tissue in a medium of high concentration of salt and then transferring it into lower salt concentration. During this transfer, some of ion taken up will diffuse into the lower salt concentration from the higher salt concentrations until the concentration of both the solutions get balanced. Whole process is unaffected by temperature or metabolic inhibitors. Earlier also you have read that diffusion is the process of movement of ion or molecules from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentrations. Facilitated diffusion. hypothesis. It is also a type of diffusion in which the passive absorption of ion takes place through mediation of carrier molecules. Protein molecule present in plasma membrane function as carrier, which transport ion across the membrane. In the structure of cell membranes, fluid mosaic model of cell membrane or biomembrane you have read, in which some proteins are act as carrier or passage proteins, which carry the water soluble molecules inside or outside the cell. However, such a diffusion always takes place in accordance with the concentration gradient, but this is always without expenditure of energy. Means it takes place from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Mass flow hypothesis. Just now you have read Munch hypothesis. Plants which have a higher rate of transpiration contain comparatively high concentration of minerals. It is well known that increase in transpiration is accompanied by increased absorption of ion from the soil. In this way, the ions are absorbed by the plants in a mass flow due to higher rate of transpiration. Ionic exchange theory. According to this theory, the exchange of ions directly from soil and root surface, positively charged ions or cations, for example, potassium, calcium, magnesium, are exchanged with hydrogen ions, while negatively charged ions or anions are exchanged with hydroxyl or bicarbonate ions. pH or pH, OH or hydroxyl or bicarbonate ions. This exchange has carbon dioxide produced due to respirations dissolve in the water to form carbonic acid, which is very unstable substance, and immediately dissociate to form hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. So hydrogen ion is helpful in exchange of positive ions and bicarbonate ions in the exchange of negative ions. It takes place by two methods: carbonic exchange method. Carbon dioxide released during the respiration dissolve in soil water, forming carbonic acid, which dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ions. Hydrogen ion get exchanged by some other positive ions from the soil, and negative bicarbonate ions exchange with the negative ions present in soil. This process is also totally physical process without expenditure of energy. Second is contact exchange. According to this concept, hydrogen, hydroxyl or bicarbonate ion absorbed over the surface of root can directly get exchanged with similarly charged ions present over the surface of soil particles if their oscillation volume overlap. These ions oscillate at the surface of root hair in definite volume. Whenever there is overlapping of oscillation volume of ions like hydrogen and potassium, the latter is exchanged with hydrogen ions. This process of mineral absorption is known as contact exchange. And other is Donan equilibrium. According to Donan, cells contain some fixed ions which do not exert any diffusion pressures. Therefore, ions similar in charge to that of fixed ions move inwardly through diffusion. Oppositely charged ions also pass inwardly to balance them. Such a diffusion continues till the multiple of cation and anion inside cells become equal to that of ion present in outside medium. In this way, an equilibrium between ion present inside and outside a root hair cells is maintained. This is known as Donon equilibrium. Active absorption, however, observed in Nigella that the concentration of potassium ion inside the cell is about 1000 times higher than that of concentration of potassium ion in the surrounding water. In spite of this, there is the movement of cell since potassium ion from outside to inside the cell, since it takes place against concentration gradient. It requires energy for the process. This energy is made available through respiration. Due to this reason, this type of mineral absorption is known as active absorption. Some of the facts of active absorptions are: there is a direct increase in the rate of absorption of salt or minerals with the increase in respiration rate. Increase in respiration rate provides more amount of energy for the active absorption of molecules. Respiratory inhibitors inhibit mineral absorptions. Mineral absorption is directly inhibited in soil having poor aeration or oxygen concentration. Due to poor oxygen concentrations, root cannot respire in normal way and less amount of energy is produced. Therefore, the rate of active absorption is decreased. Theories of active absorptions. There are two theories of the active absorptions. First theory is carrier concept. This theory was proposed by Bonden, Howard. Proposed by Bonden, Howard, 1973. According to this theory, the plasma membrane is impermeable for free ions. The membrane contains certain fixed compounds or components which function as carrier for ions. They form a complex carrier ion complex with ions. The complex can move in opposite side of the membrane. It releases ion inside the cell. The carrier compound is again ready to transport of other ions. These carrier compounds are the proteins. For the happening of the overall process of active absorption of mineral ions through carrier protein, the energy is provided by ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Second hypothesis is cytochrome pump hypothesis. This was proposed by Lundegaard and Burstorm, 1933. They observed that when the concentration of salt in water is increased, there is a corresponding increase in the respiration rate. This is called salt-induced respiration. A direct increase in the rate of absorption of anion is also noticed in these conditions. On the basis of such finding, Lundegaard concluded following points. Only anions are absorbed through active absorption. Due to a gradient of oxygen on the two surfaces of plasma membrane, the oxidation and reduction reactions continuously take place at outer and inner surface of the membrane. Both the process of salt respiration and mineral absorptions are inhibited by potassium cyanide and carbon monoxide. Since cyanide inhibit electron transport through cytochrome pump, it can be concluded that the cytochrome pump has a direct role in ion transport. According to this theory, there is an increase in the concentration of anions at inner surface of membrane due to continued absorptions. This results into development of an electrical gradient through which cations are absorbed passively. In this way, a balance between anion and cation is maintained. Many workers have criticized the cytochrome pump theory. It explains only the absorption of anions. It does not explain the way of expenditure of energy. Cations have also been found sometime to increase the rate of salt respiration and absorption. Now the transport of mineral elements. Mineral elements from soil are absorbed through root hairs. Once they enter inside root cells, they reach to xylem basals through epiblema, cortex, endodermis and pericycles. A pulling force is created in xylem basal due to transpiration pull or transpirational loss of water. Water and mineral elements from root is transported to leaves and other aerial part due to pulling force created in xylem basals, which is continuous from root to leaves. It has been proved by many workers that transport of mineral elements and water or ascent of shape take place through xylem basals. High concentration of mineral has been found in xylem element of plants. Once minerals and ions reach to leaves, these also move to phloem cells through lateral transport. It has been observed that a little amount of mineral salt is also distributed to different parts of plant body through phloem. Now the chapter gone over. Next period we will read next unit.